It's such an honor and pleasure to meet you. You have no idea.
Oh, it's great to be here with you.
Thank you again for meeting with me this morning. It's early morning for you. It's early afternoon for me. I'm in Baltimore, actually, at the moment. So, we're so excited. Your next book is coming out in a couple of weeks, The Toltec Art of Life and Death. And it was inspired by a mystic dream you had while in a coma after your heart attack. Can you tell us a little bit about that story?
It's a story of a dream that I had when I was in coma. And that coma is because I have a major heart attack. And one of the symptoms of heart attack is the sensation of death. It's like you are dying without a doubt. Your mind say, okay, this is it. For me, it was a moment of excitement. Even the pain was crucial, it's very strong. But I was so excited because I will have the greatest experience that anyone can have, which means to leave our physical body. And I was so excited because that was the opportunity that I can share with everyone how to die, how to really let go, that nobody ever have that fear of dying, that fear to the unknown.
So you were thinking this while you were having the heart attack, or was it right before?
Yes. No, while I had the heart attack, when I had that strong pain in the chest, it was difficult for me to breathe.
So you knew right away you were having a heart attack, and you knew that you were having this experience.
Oh, definitely. I'm a medical doctor. I know a heart attack when I see it, more when you feel it.
Right, wow.
And many people have fear. Well, I was not afraid at all. I was excited. And I called first 911 to help, and then I called my manager and say, okay, this is a great opportunity. Let everybody know that I have a heart attack and that I'm ready to teach them about how to live a physical body, how to accept death. And in the moment of death is a moment that we remember the whole story of our life. In a few seconds, minutes, whatever, everything goes into our mind and you see everything that you did in your life. It's so amazing. And I have that when I went into coma. That coma, for 9 weeks, then I had the experience of that dream. In that dream, I see that my mother, he came to me, which she really needed before the coma, and told me, Miguel, you don't have the right to die. You have to live, and you cannot die until I die, but you cannot die before. And of course, all that went into my head when I went into the dream of the coma. Anyway, it was a great dream, because in that dream, we can say that I see the conflict that every human had in their mind. That for a long time, we used to believe that it was between good and bad. But it's just the result of the real conflict that exists in the human mind. And the real conflict is between the truth and lies. Because we can see that during all of our life, we are always searching for the truth. We want to know the truth. But we have so many lies. We can say that more than 10% of all our knowledge is nothing but lies. We believe in those lies, and believe in those lies, we create superstitions. And we become fanatic defending those superstitions. And we understand that, we can understand how the human mind really works. Well, in this story, I can see the creation of that story. In a story that everyone lives in that story, and we believe it's real, we believe it's true. But it's only true for the one who created the story. Because there's 7 billion people in the planet Earth, and each one of them, they create their own story. And they believe that that story is the truth.
Right.
In a way, while I do that, I also create a main character of that story. And the main character of my story is Miguel Ruiz. Everything in that story is about Miguel. It's how Miguel perceive the whole reality, is how Miguel feel about everything, how Miguel interact with everyone. But this main character of the story is not real.
Amazing.
It's my creation. And this is true also for every single human, for the 7 billion humans that exist in humanity. Everybody create the main character of the story, and this is what they believe is their identity. It's like in your story, everything is about you. The way you perceive everything, the way you feel about everything, the way you express to everything, and it's a communion we can say between the main character and everything else. And with your story, you raise a lot of secondary characters. It's your parents, your brothers, your sisters, your beloved, your friends, people that you know, events that happen around the world, republics, nature. Everything is how you perceive it.
Right.
Well, in this 9 weeks of coma is the story of my dream. But it was focused in that conflict that exists in my mind between the truth and lies. Well, the truth always exists. The truth exists long before the creation of humanity and will exist long after the extinction of humanity, because the truth is real and nothing can change that. On the other hand, all the lies only exist because we create it, and we create those lies as a distortion of that truth. The way that we believe about everything that we perceive, about all the opinions that shape our story, about all the opinions who help us to shape the main character of our story. Because we create the main character according to everybody else's opinion, according to what everybody feel and think and judge us. And this is how the main character also judge everything around.
Amazing. We are that main character.
Yes, we can see that all the knowledge is what the main character uses in order to act, in order to behave, in order to believe. Then, really, the main character is all the knowledge together, and I give a name to that knowledge in that story, and the name is Lala.
Right.
Lala is knowledge. It is all the distortion. It's all the lies, but it's also all the hopes.
Open hopes.
All everything, all the good and the bad. We can say in that way.
Right.
All that knowledge helps us to grow as a humans, to create, to invent, to really do something in life. But also, all that knowledge limits us, create all those limitations, create all the judgments that we have about ourselves and about everything, and create all the nightmares that can exist in people's stories. Then in that conflict between the truth and lies, what happened in my story, all the effort was to redeem that knowledge. And I have also the secondary character of my teacher, my mentor, my mother, Sarita, which is the one who told me that I didn't have the right to die. And she did everything in her power to bring Miguel back to life.
Right, I read that. It's amazing.
Yes. And in order to do that, she had to face Lala. She had to face Miguel Ruiz's knowledge. And it's an interaction between Lala and Sarita. So Lala tried to convince Sarita to be part of her. that together they can bring Miguel, because if they can bring Miguel, Lala have another opportunity to get also control of Miguel. Then by the end of that story, we can see that the main problem who create all the drama, all the distortions, is the way we learn to love. Because when we was born, we had no knowledge. There was no main character, no secondary characters. It was just the way we are, perfect just as we are. Mm-hmm. Then we start learning, and we start perceiving, we start coping, we start practicing, and what we learn is to love the way everybody else loves. The truth we can say is love itself as it is. But then we perceive love, and we are among people who also perceive and distort love. Then everybody around us, they love with conditions. Our parents love with conditions, our family love with conditions, everybody at school love with conditions, in society everybody love with conditions. And this is how we learn to love, with conditions.
Yes.
Then we love everybody with conditions. And everybody loves us with conditions. Like I love you if you let me control you. If you do what I want you to do, then I love you. If you don't, then I will reject you. I don't love you.
Yeah.
But this is in general. But the big problem is that we learn to love ourselves also with conditions. That's what creates the whole drama into our life.
That's right. Yes.
So we agree with everybody else the way we should be. If we try to please everybody else, we pretend to be what we are not. And because we love ourselves with conditions, we cannot forgive ourselves for not being as perfect as everybody tells us that we should be. As we tell to ourselves that we should be. And that's why we are searching for perfection all the time. But we know that perfection is only in the mind and is a lie. Because the truth is that we was born perfect. That's the way it is. And if we turn our face around, we can see that everything is perfect just the way it is. Then in the mind, the only thing that is not perfect is the human, which is ourselves. And it's just a judgment. And it's a lie. Yeah. And we really believe that lie. We believe that we are not perfect. And then we search for that perfection. Then in this book, we can see that Lala has all the knowledge, all the judgments, and create all the limitations for Miguel to reject himself, because Miguel learned to love himself with conditions and never will be good enough. And by never being good enough, the punishment is rejection, then he rejects himself. And the beautiful part in that story is that can be related with 7 billions of stories for every single human, that they can see themselves in that story. If they just shift the name Miguel to their own name, and Lala for whatever knowledge they have, then we can see that the same drama that is happening in this dream of Miguel is really happening in every single human. Yeah. And when they get that awareness, everything can change completely. Mm-hmm. It's so wonderful that something that may happen. Yeah. That they can redeem their own knowledge. They no longer have to live their life with shame and guilt and all those judgments, especially with themselves. But we also can see in that story that we need to work with ourselves first, because we cannot give what we don't have. That you cannot really give love if you don't live yourself, because we give that love, but the love that we give is not exactly love. It's the opposite of love. And we can say that the lies are the opposite of the truth. Like if you see yourself in a mirror, the image of the mirror is exactly the opposite of you. Your right hand is the left hand of the image of the mirror. Then in the mirror is a perfect image. But we in humans, we see the image, but we judge the image. We have beliefs about the image, and we really distort more and more by every image that we perceive. And we believe that that is the truth, and obviously is not the truth.
Right. So then our ultimate goal is to condition ourselves back to learning what we were born to really learn as we came onto this earth, which is with that pure innocence and that pure heart.
Well, it's more than innocence, it's wisdom.
Wisdom, yes.
We are innocent when we were born, but after we learn everything, and after I have all those heartbreaks, all that injustice, all that violence, we become wise when we understand the point. Because when we understand that all the problems that humanity had is because we love with conditions. And when we love with conditions, we have the need to control any outcome, to tell everybody else how they have to live their life, to impose our will over others, which means we disrespect everybody else. When we understand all those points, we understand all the injustice that exists, we understand the violence, we understand even war. And we can see that the solution is simple, but it's not easy to apply. The solution is just to love without conditions. And that becomes with wisdom. Just be and let be. But like I said before, you cannot give what you don't have.
Right, so we need to learn it first.
And then first, you need to love yourself with no conditions.
No conditions.
And when you love yourself with no conditions, you no longer have shame, you no longer have guilt, and you no longer judge. You don't judge yourself anymore. You accept yourself just the way you are. Mm-hmm. Which means that now you have complete respect for yourself. And with that respect, you have inner peace. You're not looking for peace anymore. You're not looking really for anything. From that point on, you only create. You know, the word Toltec means artist. Then when I talk about the Toltec, I'm talking about the artist.
Yes.
Every single human is an artist. And every single human is really a Toltec, but it's in a different language. In Nahuatl, it's Toltec. In English, it's artist. When I talk about the artist, I talk about the Toltec. When I talk about the artist, I talk about the human, every human. So because we create all the time.
So what are the roots of the Toltec teachings that you also refer to as, the artist? What similarities do they share with other wisdom traditions, or how is it different?
Well, we can say that the artist is looking also for beauty. All the time is looking for beauty. And when they see the beauty, well, they enjoy everything. And the eye of the artist is the eye of the Toltec. And with that, they create beauty and recreate it and make it bigger and better. It's just how to use wisdom, how to love with no conditions. And this is true in any language, in any place of the earth, because it's not important what we believe, it's not important what religion we have, it's not important all the society rules, because that comes directly from our integrity, from the eye of the artist of the Toltec, from the human, from our DNA. Yes. This is what we are. We don't have to pretend. We just have to accept ourselves just the way we are.
Of course. So what advice could you give someone new to your work who's just discovering your teachings for the first time? Like, where would they begin?
Well, I always ask them to help me to change the world. And by saying that, I don't refer to the entire planet. I don't refer to humanity. But I refer to the world that they create, to the story that they create. Like when I tell you, please help me to change the world, I'm talking about the world that you create, the world that only you can change like nobody else. And only you can change it because you are the one who created it. Then if you can change your own world, the point is not to change the secondary characters, which means the people that you know. What is important is to change the main character of your story, which is what you believe you are. If you can change what you believe you are, just like magic, everything starts changing around you. Because now you see everything in a completely different way. If you can change your world, you change completely, and the people who live around you will start feeling your change, and then they want to be like you, because they will feel your presence and they will love you. Right. Of course, they will love you with conditions, but they will not have the effect on you. Then they will change the way that they love you, and they will love you every time with less and less conditions. And by doing that, they are also working with themselves and changing their own world. Mm-hmm. This is like a drops of wisdom that goes ripple everywhere. And that's what, for example, the foreigners did when they came out. And this is what this book will do. Because in this book, you can see your own story and you can relate it with my story, which both stories really come from the same place. But what will change is just the language, the circumstances, the family, but the way the drama will be exactly the same thing. We always are searching for the truth. We are always searching for safety, for security, etc., etc. There is a repetition that will change according to the circumstances, according to the main character, and according to the interaction that the character has with everything else around.
In the Four Agreements, you reveal the key to personal freedom in a way that is so simple yet powerful. And one quote stood out particularly to me. You can easily forgive others and any judgments you have. You don't need to be right, and you don't need to make anyone else wrong. You make forgiveness seem easy, but that's not often the case. How can you discuss how we can better practice forgiveness and letting go of anger or judgment?
Well, we see.
I think that's one of the hardest things that we struggle with as a society.
When we see that we will forgive somebody else, not because what they did to us, that could be something completely awful, but we will forgive them because we don't want to hurt ourselves every time that we remember what they did to us. Because every time that we remember what they did to us, we will have all that emotion, all that anger. And that's why it's so difficult to forgive. But we will forgive them, not because they deserve or not to be forgiven, but because we don't want to suffer anymore every time that we remember what they did to us. Then we know that we'll really forgive them when we can hear about them or we can see them and we don't feel anything any longer. Then we really let go. Then when we have that awareness, it becomes easier and easier to forgive, to let go. Because then we know that whatever they did, they really did self. And we don't have to take it personally. And because we take it personally, that memory keep coming, and then we hurt ourselves. For example, if someone raped somebody, well, the rape happened, it was short, etc. But every time that the person who was raped remembered to rape, the other person is not raping her anymore. That person is raping herself over and over and over again.
Sure.
Then if they really want to forgive, they will do it not because that person deserves not the forgiveness, but because they don't want to feel that again and again and again. They don't want to keep raping themselves again and again and again. And this is nothing but self-love. Forgiveness is self-love.
I love that. Self-love, that's so beautiful. And I see, yes, that's really, we are just causing ourselves to suffer further by, this conflict, this inner conflict that we have. And so by letting that go, we're freeing ourselves from the suffering.
And then we go to be happy.
Yes. Wow.
Because we don't have all that in our head.
So each of our life stories is unique and different, and yet we're all searching for truth.
Yes.
For what really matters. You write that the truth will set us free. How? How do we find that truth, and how do we make it more authentic to ourselves?
Well, for example, the example that we just did about forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it was true that someone raped this girl, but it's just a memory now. Nobody's raping her right now, and that is the truth. Then when that person forgives the other one, is really releasing themselves from all those memories. Then the truth is setting her free in that moment. It's breaking the spell. Then the truth set us free from all those lies. Because yes, it was true that was rape, but it's a lie that it was been raping her all the time, every time that she remembered. And the truth break all those lies and set her free from herself.
That's right. So
I hope I make sense.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We don't. I think that our culture needs to understand this information, because we get so locked into the memory of the event that we can't break ourselves free from it. And every time that we think about it, we do feel like we are reliving the experience all over again, because we've associated the feeling with the memory. And telling people, making them understand that, to keep telling yourself that no, it's not happening right now. Yes, it happened, but it didn't happen. It doesn't happen every time we're thinking about it.
And remember, whatever happened in our life, we're not creating the story right now.
Right.
We're in the past, and the past is not real. It's not true. And when we have memories, we bring in that memory to the present moment, and we rewrite our story with those memories. But the story is ongoing, and creating it in this moment, and right here and right now. 5 minutes before is past, is not true anymore. Right. 5 minutes in the future is not happening yet. But as artists, we have to understand that we're creating that story right now. And the decisions that we make right now really can change whatever else we do, because it's an ongoing creation. Then it's so important to let go everything that can create any conflict in our life. And if the conflict is here, it's better for us to fix it, to solve it, and to keep enjoying life. Because this is life. All the things are happening all the time, everywhere. It's happening outside of us and inside of us. It's just something so beautiful to see how life is create all those miracles all around. And if we can understand that the time that we live in our physical body is very short, because let's see, if we live 100 years, we create a story of 100 years, but it's only true in the moment that we create the story. Okay, 100 years is nothing compared with the whole eternity. And when we understand that the whole eternity is created just by matter and the force that moves matter, and that force that moves matter is nothing but life. It's just life and death. Life is the force that moves matter. Matter cannot be moved with the force that moves that matter. The physical movement cannot be stopped if that force don't stop matter. But matter by itself cannot move. Matter has a beginning and has an end. Then I live my physical body. My physical body is matter. My physical body was conceived 64 years ago almost, and is still alive. But it's alive because of me, life. I live in my physical body. Then my physical body has an end. But life is energy, and energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. It's indestructible. It's forever. It doesn't have a beginning. It doesn't have an end. And everything that exists is being moved by that force, by life. Then the entire universe, everything that exists, is only one being and is alive. Then it's a beautiful, beautiful question for everybody.
It is.
Are you the force that moves matter or your matter? Because matter will die.
Yes.
And not as force, we are immortal. And thanks to us, the physical body first is born, then grow up, grow old, reproduce, and finally we leave our physical body. But it's changing because we, life, we are modifying it. We have made our physical body to evolve. And when the physical body cannot keep us any longer, we just live. And then the physical body will disappear.
Right.
And this is something beautiful to understand, because there's nothing to fear about that.
Right.
Why? Because we are immortal. And of course, the main character will disappear also, because it's not real. It's our creation. We create the main character. I create Miguel Ruiz. When somebody asks me, okay, Miguel, who are you? What are you? I can justify my existence according to everything that I know. But the real truth is that I have no idea what I am. I don't know. I call myself life. I call myself energy. I can justify my identity by saying, well, I'm a medical doctor, I'm a surgeon, I'm an author, I'm a speaker, and I can say whatever I want to say about me. But it's not true. It's just part of the story. It's sort of that main character, but I am not the main character. And this is a big relief, because in this main character, for a long time, used to have some shame, some guilt, because it's not what it's supposed it should be. Well, if I now know that I am not Miguel Ruiz, well, I don't have to be me. And if I don't have to be me, why should I keep creating all those stories in my life? You know, it feels so free that you don't have to be you. But yet, the main character that we create is perfect, is extraordinary, and is what we use in order to interact with everybody else. Because my main character interacts with your main character and with everybody else's main character. And this is the main character. I could write these books, and those books I put it in paper. And when the book is in paper, is dead because it's matter.
Right.
But as soon as someone gets a book and read the book, the person who's reading the book is giving life to that book. Because it's understanding the meaning of all those symbols that are in that book. Then it's giving life to the book. When they finish the book, they don't read anymore, the book is dead again. But we are the one who give life
Amazing.
to the
Yes.
book.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
And it's the same with the story. When you read the story, you relate with the story, you give life to the story, and you can compare with your own story. And you can take whatever works for your story, and what doesn't work for your story, just throw it away.
Right. Just change it.
And that can modify your story and make your story better. Wow, this is something that really can change.
Right. Amazing. You're absolutely right. We can change it. And we give energy and life to, things that we read and how we want to apply those lessons that we learn. Now, everyone defines happiness differently. What does happiness mean to you? And how can we obtain it?
Well, happiness is just that wonderful emotion that we feel when we enjoy just existence, just to be. And happiness can be expressed in many different ways. It can be expressed with a smile, just with something that is very peaceful. There's so many ways to express it: laughing, crying, running. It's just a way to enjoy life. It's the expression. It can be a very big manifestation, or just a smile. And even not just a smile, but just a feeling. Just by listening to music, for example, by swimming, by running, by making love. Everything is really an expression of life itself. Is life working?
I think a lot of people think that happiness is more than what it actually is. I think it's more of a state of being, and people try very hard to acquire it when it's I think it's a lot more simple than people think it is.
Well, we have to look for happiness. We don't have to search for happiness. Either we are or we are not.
Right.
But we don't have to try to be happy. It's simple. We are or we are not. And we are when we are enjoying what we do. When we have that passion. There's so many ways how happiness can be expressed. And either we have it or we don't. And we don't have to look for it.
We don't have to look for it? Is that what you said?
No, we don't have to search for happiness. Either we are or not. It's like when I had my apprentices. It's also this book is coming. I used to say, okay, either you are happy or you're stupid. And they just say, oh, but I'm not stupid. They are happy.
Well, what do you do when you meet people that say, you know what, I'm just not happy. I don't know why, I'm just not happy.
Then stop being stupid.
I love that. Stop being stupid.
And you will be happy right away.
Yeah, it made me laugh. I'm happy. I'm smiling. I love that line. I'm going to use it. Now, once you get to know me, you'll know that I'm all about the heart. And I was floored by your dedication to the young woman whose heart you received via transplant in 2010. I mean, that was amazing. Can you just tell us a little bit about that experience of what's it like to have someone else's heart beating inside of you?
Well, it's a big relief because by the time I had the heart transplant, my body was so close to let go of life. Then it just came into the right time, and when, I was in action like always, of course. I was with one of my children in a lecture that they had in Texas. And at that time, I used a guru chair because it was hard for me just to walk, but I was keeping in action. And then at the midnight, I called from Cedars in LA, and they told me that they have a heart for me, that I have to be in 6 hours or less in LA. It was midnight in Texas with no transportation. I told them, oh, I will be there.
Oh.
And right away, everybody started looking for planes or whatever way to go. And I arrived to LA just like 20 minutes before the 6 hours. Mm-hmm. Then I arrived on time, and I received the heart, and that's when I knew that it was a lady of 20 years old.
Wow.
My guess is that she died in an accident, but I don't know. And it was not really that important. What is important is that with her generosity, she was able to give back to somebody else, because her body was already gone, but not the organs. Then to have that heart, it really changed everything in me again. The physical pain that I used to have, it just disappeared. I was able to get the strength again to start traveling. And after 6 months, I stopped traveling, and I didn't stop for 3 years. I go all around the world doing lectures and giving myself the best I can, until my body stopped again and say, okay, that is enough. And now I start writing, and this book came out, the Thought of Life and Death, and I'm really very, very grateful to her. And I have the heart of a woman, and it's beautiful. Nothing changed really, but now it's in the heart.
It must be amazing. It really must be an amazing experience. So basically, you're just about 25 years old now.
Only my heart. Because the rest of the body is 63.
But you know what they say, right? We're young at heart.
Oh, the mind is all young. You know, I feel like I was in my teens or my 20s, it depends. But then I see myself at the mirror and say, okay, what happened here? But, it's completely normal. Mm. I just all the changes in my body, but the mind doesn't change. The mind is not the body. Right. Then I still feel sometimes that I'm the little boy, the child who is playing. Mm-hmm. I have that sense of humor. I just enjoy life.
Well, we need to, right?
Well, nothing is really that important. Something that I learned in the moment of my death, or almost death, is that everything that we did in life is completely irrelevant. It's only relevant at the moment that you're doing it. And even our past is irrelevant unless we bring it to the present moment and suffer because what we did. But everything that we accomplish in life is really gone. It's not true. Receiving my diploma of a medical doctor, it was great in the moment that I received. But after that, it was not important any longer. Then everything is just like that. Whatever we do in life is irrelevant. What is more relevant is what we're doing right now. Right. That is what gives relevance to everything that we do. Mm-hmm. But for me right now, to having this interview with you is the most important thing that I can do. I'm doing it right now. And I share myself right now. I give it myself, and I just, with all my generosity, with all my love, I just share myself. And this is something important if it's well received or not. Because I can say that I'm completely responsible for everything I say, but I am not responsible for what everybody understands. They're responsible for what they perceive and how they shift it or change it. This is, it gives so much freedom just to be you and express yourself. Because it's not really that important the judgments that other people can have about me, as it's not important the judgment that I can have about myself. Because I love myself just the way I am. And I know that the years that I have still in this beautiful planet, I will enjoy the best I can. And it's just so wonderful to see all around all these young people just having so much fun and just enjoying life even if they don't know. They are alive. And yes, they have all the problems in their mind, those conflicts or those beliefs, they can punish themselves, etc., etc. But this is life. It's okay. Everything is perfect, just the way it is. Yeah. We're going exactly in the right direction.
Well, thank you so much for sharing yourself. How does your medical training influence your spiritual teaching?
Well, it was, I think, a lot. Because I have the scientific mind by being a medical doctor, and I always want answers. If I have a doubt, I have to find the answer. And it was one way to look into for me to look for the truth. Then when I had this car accident in my early 20s, and I see my body sleeping in the car when they crashed, then I knew it about that I am not my physical body. Then I had the time to see, okay, if I'm not a physical body, then what am I? And I really made me go back to my mother and to the legacy that I received from my family to find out in that way what I really am, and to find out many years later that I am life and that everything is great and everything has an answer, really. There's not really a mystery. You know, the whole mystery of the universe is so simple, a binary system. Matter and energy, life and death. And everything is a combination of both. Everything. And it's just wonderful to see the simplicity of everything. It's the mind who complicates everything.
It does. Now, your mother was a teacher and a healer, and now your sons have taken up the family business, let's call it, and become spiritual teachers in their own right. What's that like for you?
Well, I have 3 sons, and with the middle one, with Jose, we wrote the 5th agreement. And he's really the author. I just helped him by writing about the 4 agreements in that book, but it's really my son's book. This is Jose Ruiz. And the other one, he came later to teach also, and he wrote really 3 books. And one is a great teacher. All are great teachers, and I'm very happy that they decided to do that. And the youngest one is, it looks like a very soon he will be part of this legacy also. He started my older son in the organization of whatever they're doing. Because right now I can say that I almost retired in a certain way, except for the writing. And my 2 children, they take them over in their own way, or what I share. And they shifted according to the experience they had in life. And now the youngest one is helping the older one in order to give more sense to all the financial things that they have. Then I'm really not involved in that. It's my son Miguel Jr. They want to, and Leonardo is the younger one.
Okay.
To start taking over all that. And Jose is more like me. He don't like all this all the office things, and he just read also and read books and have a great imagination, use music and words. It's beautiful what they do.
Sounds like a beautiful partnership.
Well, yeah.
Everyone has their own, responsibilities. And
they do it in their own way, which is the most beautiful part. They don't try to impose to each other. They have complete respect for each other, and I really, really love what they do.
That's great. I always like to ask my guests about their Rewire Me moments. And obviously, you've had quite a few. First, your car crash that caused you to leave your practice, and then your heart attack. Is there one that you can share with our readers, perhaps not as dramatic, but one that just was profound enough for you to say, well, wait a minute, I was rewired by this in some way?
Well, that was what I call the moment of the truth. And I was doing my social service as a medical doctor. It was in Qatar, Sonora. In that day, the air conditioner failed. Then I just go out to walk. It's a beautiful full moon that you can see almost everything like a day. And in that moment, I turn my face into the sky, and I say all those millions of stars. And I have that wonderful insight. I see, wow, all the light that comes from all those stars that I'm receiving right now, it came from different times and different distance, from hundreds or even thousands, even millions light years. And I receive all of them in this given moment. And I really don't know if that still exists or not, but I perceive it right now. Then I have the sensation that they also perceive me at the moment that I was perceiving them. And then I see that everything is made by stars. I look my hands and I see, yes, it's made by atoms and electrons, just like the stars, and there's no difference. Then at that point, I knew without a doubt that there is only one being and it's alive. And that really changed everything with me completely. And I shared it right away, that insight. You know, we are only one. Humanity is only one living being. Made by 7 billion people. Yeah, but it's only one being. Like my body is one being and it's made by millions of cells, and every cell is an individual. The same way, humanity is only one being. And humanity itself is just an organ of the planet Earth, which is alive. Then I see that everything was alive. The atmosphere is an organ, the desert is an organ, the ocean is an organ. Every single species is an organ. And we together have homeostasis, an equilibrium that the earth lives perfectly. And it was so beautiful to say, well, I am not alone, I am everyone, I am everything, and everything is me. It was so great to see that. Wow. And of course I see, well, I'm not Miguel. And I'm really Miguel.
Yeah, so what a beautiful, beautiful person you are. Incredibly intelligent and wise, and just so, I'm so grateful to have this moment with you, and thank you for sharing your wisdom and your teachings and your experiences. Our listeners and our readers will be so thrilled and honored, just as I am.
Well, I am really happy. It's like I say, this is the most important moment of my life. Yeah. Because I'm alive right now. And this is the best, the most important moment to everyone also, because everyone is alive right now. Yeah. We are alive right now.
And life is beautiful.
It is. It's really beautiful. Like all of us.
Yes. Thank you so much.
So you can all and keep my book to everybody, please.
I will. And your book, you know, good luck with the book. I know it will be an absolute hit. The Toltec Art of Life and Death. There's so much in here, so much wisdom and experience and understanding, and so much we can learn from this. And thank you again. Thank you.
Well, all of my love, like always.
And all of my love to you.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.